Geekdom, knee. We going knee, but y'all, man, there ain't no way you can get out of this. We have engaged in knee deepness. Dragon Ball Super playing with your mind no more. Your minds are no longer safe. It's crazy. At a certain point in time, we were told that you needed the Saiyan God ritual in order to achieve Super Saiyan God. Yet Vegeta trained with Whis, and we found out that he obtained this level of power without the Saiyan God ritual. He obtained it on Beerus' planet through training with Whis. Now, the only reason why we managed to have this revealed, that he was able to do this, was because of his individual feats of literally seeing him do it. Now we're going to talk about Super Saiyan 3. And the reason why I went knee deep in your guy Geekdom. And the reason why I went knee deep in anybody else who tried to push the narrative that you cannot prove something wrong through your individual feats. You want to know what people are using when they tell you that Super Saiyan 3 has innate stamina drain that is just extremely hard to deal with? They're in fact using individual feats. Statements that apply to a particular individual based on his performance in the form. And Gotenks. The only thing that could justify saying the opposite is to literally see the opposite, or to hear somebody state it, or to... Guess what I said I saw? I saw the opposite. We all saw the opposite, nigga. We saw Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta handling Super Saiyan 3 while being jumped, also by a Kraken that Goku stated neither of them had the power to defeat, right? Okay. Being jumped never actually enhances Tamagami 2. Vegeta's in a kid body, so he should have significantly less stamina to play with, especially for you guys who love Dragon Ball GT. You remember that was a thing, okay? And he still does it. Also, he's getting used to his body while he's being jumped. Goodness gracious. Outperformed Goku's Super Saiyan 3 expertise by miles, considering the fact that Goku's time training with it was in the afterlife, where he had extra time, where he had the advantages of, less stamina drain, bro. And he still came down near to planet Earth talking about possesses a lot of stamina drain. Even if he was in the living, his time gained, his experience gained in operating the form should give him a heads up. Yet it's not him that we see with the best performance with this skill. It's Vegeta. Okay? It's Vegeta. So much like I said before. No, we will not ignore Vegeta's individual feats in order to substantiate narratives pushed based on others. We don't do that. What that becomes is that umbrella of, hey, Super Saiyan 3 is really hard for us to handle. That now applies to Goku and Gotenks, but it doesn't apply to Vegeta. Clapped up. I love when people are in the middle of substantiating feats that they see. And then they say, yeah, well, remember when Gohan did this, or remember when Broly did this, or remember when, and I say, hey, remember when Vegeta fought Beast Gohan in blue? And they say, we're not counting that. A lot of people say, well, Goten and Trunks were fighting Broly. And I was like, exactly. Because Broly as a Super Saiyan was struggling to maintain controls affecting his fighting, and it was only normal Super Saiyan 1. Goes to explain why. Yeah, so everything is consistent, right? I'm using the same elements of feats that anybody else. Go look at my last video and see just how many people came down to the comments using the Speed Force to angrily twerk. I need you to go back to that video, man. See how people were twerking it out. That Geekdom video that I did talking about Vegeta does not have the stamina drain in Super Saiyan 3. There were so many people that were just, did we already cover this? We know this about Super Saiyan 3. And it's like, remember when Goku came out with a mastery of Super Saiyan? Vegeta was actually the first one to think about ascending. Goku piggybacked off of his thoughts and his dreams. How about that, Geekdom? But regardless, when Goku showed up with the mastered Super Saiyan, guess what? It was something that we didn't know was coming, but that don't mean that it's not allowed. So can't nobody else come with a better efficiency than anybody else in this form? Breaking what you thought were the inherent conceptions about it? Come on, man. We've been over this. Nigga, stop wigging out. The situation ain't no different just because it's Vegeta. Y'all be acting real different. And that's why I'll be going knee deep. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. But we gonna continue. So the Vegeta haters way in their feelings. I did a video, basically a response to a couple of different YouTubers that I saw, one of which was Geekdom, the other of which was Son TJ. And I saw them basically saying that you got to spoon feed, or that you shouldn't have to spoon feed these, what they call context clues, for things like Super Saiyan 3 having stamina, weakness issues. Now, what I said was, the very evidence that made us think that in the first place, that made us say that in the first place, was or were individuals who had Super Saiyan 3 performance, their performance that they had while in Super Saiyan 3. And that was Goku and that was Gotenks. Okay? Vegeta pops out with Super Saiyan 3, doesn't have any stamina issues. I've seen a lot of people trying their damnness, absolutely desperate, the most pitiful and pathetic thing I've ever seen, where people are trying so hard so that you don't have to include Vegeta's individual feats. Shut up, nigga. All right? Shut the hell up. You know it's bad when people want to refer to other individuals' performance in something instead of just outright judging the individual at hand, the individual in question, instead of just judging their performance. Why is it that to substantiate whether or not, Vegeta's strengths and weaknesses in this, why isn't it that we can't just judge his performance? You know how unfair that is? You're going to judge Vegeta and tell Vegeta, no, I don't give a damn how you perform. You're not allowed to perform any different than what Goku did, because Goku wasn't this good. He hadn't maintained anything this good, and boom. You want to know what's crazy? Just like with Mastered Super Saiyan, Goku found a way to conserve his stamina. Goku found a way to operate, to maneuver, to navigate Super Saiyan in a more efficient way. We didn't say, well, past Super Saiyans previously have never managed to do this, therefore blah, blah, blah. No, they looked for an ascension, okay? Now, different context is still applicable. We don't have to all come together and say, well, Goku don't have to piggyback on Vegeta's thoughts of wanting to ascend. That doesn't have to happen. A person can literally be like, shoot, I figured out a way for myself to this, that, and the third. So a person could always have their own individual feats, strengths, and weaknesses. If you're trying to X out a person's performance, right, so that you can judge their capabilities and their limit, you want to come up with an understanding of their limits and their capabilities, but you won't judge how they, as an individual, performed. You're scared. Nigga, I don't want to hear that. Shut up.
Alright, so you guys remember back in the Buu Saga when Vegeta used the final explosion? That was a technique that from that point on was known, okay, was established to basically be a kamikaze. It's an attempt at destroying yourself that they described as something that there was no way you were going to survive, okay? So, as far as throwing it back as Geekdom with his hands on his knees listening to Sexy Red is concerned, there is no developing past the certain level of efficiency that has been displayed by other characters. Not even if you're somebody else who hasn't even demonstrated or showcased having that same problem. You're a completely different person, and you come out and you show them completely different results. And they get mad and say, you know what? I don't give a damn what you showed me, because Goku and Gotenks, yeah, they struggled. So who gives a damn about you and the fact that you're not struggling right now? I'm going to say the same thing about you that is said about them. And it's like Vegeta's like, what about me, man? What about my performance? Can my feats, can my performance matter at all toward this decision making? And they say, you know what? No. But we look at a tournament of power where he used final explosion and survived it. They say Vegeta's body grew strong enough to survive it, but let me rephrase that. They say Vegeta's body had grown strong enough to the point where it could survive that explosion. But that explosion had grown stronger. From Super Saiyan 2 in the Buu Saga to Super Saiyan Blue in a tournament of fucking power. So, normal idea is that this move is gonna unalive you no matter what. You're not surviving it. But he's using it in Super Saiyan Blue. And his development and efficiency at doing this has grown, his strength has grown so much that something that was a misconception, or something that was thought about this technique before, is no longer applicable. Back in the day, if we would have talked about him using that move, you would have told me he dies, and that's that. We already know this about this technique. But it's never too late to learn something, Geekdom. Let it be Vegeta and Vegeta fans that teach you. Diamonds, Diddy!